you care for me, but don't worry about me, just say a prayer for me. Cause we all going one day, so just prepare for me. And I'ma live to the fullest, so don't be scared for me. Just say a prayer for me, yeah.
Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me. Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me.
I used to have problems getting it off. Now I'm dripping in sauce. First I'm hitting the gas, then you get the exhaust. Told the world that I'm coming, I'm working to be a boss. It's consequence for them actions. I teach my sons that it costs. All this drama in my life is fucking with my conscience. Caught the little chain, they wonder how I got this. Swear these niggas lame, why they worried about my pockets? Tore out the frame, now she wanna keep me hostage. Better than ever, it's really no room for error. Play for keeps and never settle, no negotiate with the devil. I'm getting harder to measure, I give it all, cause I'm destined, I'm too involved and I'm ready, so through it all, I'ma get it. I know you care for me, but don't worry about me, just say a prayer for me. Cause we all going one day, so just prepare for me. And I'ma live to the fullest, so don't be scared for me. Just say a prayer for me, yeah.
Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me. Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me. Can you pray for me?
Something wrong, somebody pray for me. Psychic said it ain't safe for me. I pulled the card with 2 snakes on it, intertwined into an 8 or something. Bottom line, it was an ace on it. Pray for me. I seen a demon with a face on it. I don't look in the mirror now. I know them voices in my head from the spirit realm. I know it's people under the stairs and in the ceiling found. I feel my niggas in the air who ain't here around me. I know you possibly sincerely care about me, but I still ain't going nowhere without the hand on me. Just say a prayer for me. I know you care for me, but don't worry about me, just say a prayer for me. Cause we all going one day, so just prepare for me. And I'ma live to the fullest, so don't be scared for me. Just say a prayer for me, yeah.
Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me. Pray for me. If you love me, just pray for me. Can you pray for me?
Yeah, so you can go ahead.
Okay. When they did this that one of Stigmata, which is a good movie,
Yes, sir.
called Revelation, and they dealt with the ancient writings and etc. A lot of these writings, they deal with people with a spiritual change and an awakening. But at the same time, it's more than that, because, like I said, it has, the Vatican is more interested in it than most people are. So they know that this ancient language and the way that the writings are, it surpasses other languages and becomes more of a foundation language. A lot of people are happy, content, and enjoy what they call the Egyptian language and hieroglyphics. But back in the time when they were writing that, there was no such word as Egypt or Egyptian for hieroglyphics.
Right.
And I've asked many individuals, what is the name of Horus outside of the English? What is the actual Egyptian name, or as they call it, Egyptian? What is Egyptian? And some will say it's the Mazara, Kemet, because
You talking about Mizraim?
they say Mizraim. They say that too. That's more of a modern term of it. There's a lot of things that they mention and state that these are as if they're going on right now, and people in these certain areas of the world, that's what they say. They're an Egyptian, but they're not. So the thing is that here in America, we figured that everybody knows what a cheeseburger and fries and a shake is. And that's not true. But the thing is, so is a lot of the biblical account. A lot of the scriptures that they put together in these Bibles, such as King James, the Geneva Bible, and etc., they use them to create a spell to spellbound us in a religious mode. And these three concepts of the religious mode, which is Judean, Christian, Islamic, and what's the other one? I did say them, didn't I?
You said them. Yeah, so you said the top three or the
Top three.
more popular three. Yeah.
The more popular three.
Mm-hmm.
And these levels that people deal with. But now people beginning to see that there's more to it just in the so-called African.
Mm-hmm.
And in that African so-called mode, they're beginning to at least wake up to that it's just not the English. And the term God, they know that the Bible had more than just one God, because it said, I am a God higher than all these other gods. And some people are calling themselves and saying that they're gods and goddesses, and they are within that range of doing such. But yet, there are other people said they're immortal. So whatever classification you're using, that you're doing things, you're awakening to a point that is not within this plantation or the way that we exist now.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's coming across, we're becoming more so aware of who and what you are. Because when you have joy, you can share that. But when you have pain, the only thing that you can do is express it. And collectively, we are a lot of people that have shared pain. And in this shared pain, we can't allow it to be a suffering. We've had a lot of people in my generation who have died, who have been killed, just so that they can make it, so they can be where they are. And the young people that I talk with, some of them even state that they made the emphasis, so have my homies died on the street, but they were killed by each other.
Right.
And the thing is, not one of them will go outside their community or their established block and go to an area that is a high income, non-black area and go do what they do in the hood there. They won't make it. So subconsciously they know that. So do that make it right? Do that make it wrong? They know that they can't go out their boundary. So therefore, they don't know who they are. So they're not willing to do that because it don't make them who they are in existence. Somebody got to do it, that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
But no one is willing to live for this, but yet some people willing to die. Die for what purpose? There's no reason for you to die, and there's no purpose for you to live to a point where you can be.
Mm-hmm.
What purpose is there to die for someone or die for yourself, and you have not yet even know who you are? You got to be able to understand who you are. And in the ancient, it allows you to do such because it can take what they use as the foundation, and they took from the ancient to create their systems of languages. And in the ancient, you can bring it back to the foundation and use both in a lateral sense to put and improve your insight inception so that you can apply and become more construct and be sustainable in this system that allows you to journey through here and be able to do this without existing and without fear. Because fear is the number one problem. Without fear, you just don't have to be concerned with a lot of issues. But you can't be out here blind thinking that you're just going to walk into some kind of madness and you're going to be all right.
Yeah, a lot of people be, not to cut your wisdom, I was just saying, like when you were saying without fear, because it's like, it reminded me of a line of dialogue in the original Doom movie.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Fear is the mind killer. You know what I'm saying? And then, like you was saying, though, like that don't mean, though, be out here blindly just going out here thinking you going like you Neo and or Trinity from the Matrix. Because I know a lot of this stuff then got people thinking that they can do things that, really aren't practical. You know what I'm saying? In the real world, that go back to what we was talking um, about the survival thing. You know what I'm saying? And how to apply certain things. You know, because it don't make no sense. For example, it don't make no sense to like okay, yeah, I know we have a right to travel as what they want to say human beings. I know that a natural right to travel, but that don't mean I should go out here and provoke people beings that armed beings who have been demonstrating that we targets for them. You know what I'm saying? And put myself in a situation whether I'm riding dirty or try to confront them on certain stuff when they can just blast us, get it over with, and nothing gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because they know they can do whatever they want. So it don't matter if I know the fact that I got a certain right, so to speak. That don't mean I should always put that into a certain practice where I'm confrontational when I really don't have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like some people use certain information. I'll call it information, but when we relate it back to the fear, not having no fear, yeah, we're not supposed to have no fear, but we're not supposed to be stupid either.
Yeah, but that's a key word. And throughout the so-called common Bible, one of the things and one of the phrases that they state in there, and then
your sound went out. Is your mic?
Can you hear me now?
There you go. Yeah, yes, sir. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that it says in the so-called scripture, my people are stupid, and for the lack of knowledge, they will not progress. They will not get things to be because my people are stupid. For the lack of knowledge. Knowledge is...
Okay, go ahead. You good.
Now, what it is that when we dealing with people and the application of life and what we're dealing with, we have to understand that even though the statement in the so-called Bible said my people are stupid for a lack of knowledge, we got to understand what knowledge is.
Are you talking about the one where it say my people perish for a lack of knowledge, or the other one? Okay.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right.
They both are similar and somewhat together.
All right.
And we will perish for the lack of knowledge because we feel that it should be given to us and we don't reach out and get it. And the thing I noticed about some of the young brothers and sisters out there who get it, they are proclaiming different things. And we're in a spirit war. I remember when I was looking at, what's her name? Nicki Minaj, right? And she proclaimed herself as being a child of Satan or Baphomet, okay?
Oh, okay.
Head dress and etc. And all that is that's what they have trained her to do, and she accepted it because it gives her the ability to be outside of the masses, and she don't have to just to exist. She is being a child of the so-called Satan and etc. And she's proud about it, okay? But a lot of people take this wrong because the thing of the matter is that she can be a child and a daughter of the bitch, okay? And etc. And she's getting great rewards, okay? But at the same time, it's not for the people who are not embracing where she's at. And a lot of people will embrace that factor of her being in that realm of the satanic or the Baphomet realm, but won't receive the mass rewards that she's receiving. It's like the basketballs and sport figures who receive millions of dollars for playing a sport will receive money, but when you go out in your neighborhood and play out in the backyard or on the court, you're not going to receive nothing. So it's just a matter of they single out one so that other people can get this false sense of hope. Hope is part of the bitchology. That's part of one of those Greek gods, and they give them different names, Athena and et cetera, like love and Cupid, the dog with the little bow and arrows. Those were called fuckets, and they deal with love and et cetera. But a lot of these things that they're dealing with are things in your mind that disturb your flow and balance. And I know that many of them, when they speak of the Egyptian order, they say Ma'at is balance. And she is to a point, but she's not just in the Egyptian order, she's also where you are now.
Go ahead.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So yeah, yeah.
Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, like, so this thing you said the bitchology. So what is that? Like, I mean, can you explain? You know what I'm saying, for the people? Like, what is that? And you know, what does that got to do with the ninth gate? And what is that? Yeah, it has to do with the ancient. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, the ninth gate in itself with the ancient is where, see, the ancient in simplicity is nothing more than taking the reference of letters that are outside the system of the English letters and the basic letters of themselves. And we can understand and approach and accept letters that Hollywood give us, like in far as the letters of rune, Rune, and say, hey, this is about craft, this is about sorcery, these are sigils that deal with the islands and etc. And then all the other factors and signs. They know more about the BET acronyms and they know other signatures. They know about hand signs for us gangs, but they don't know about the signs that help and heal them. And one of the things that I used to teach when I used to teach in the area was that if it don't heal, it will kill. So you got to learn how to heal and to help yourself. But right now, you got to get past this training. And the training of this programming that they have taught us, is something that you have to do and have the energy and the will to do it. And not to tangent off, but we've had some individuals, both male and female, in our community here in where I live, that have left the streets and drugs. They were avid crackheads and etc. And you know, all kinds of sexual property and etc. And they became individuals that healed themselves and got out of that realm that was very destructive in all realms for them. And they became great within themselves. And others seen that glory of themselves, not just glory, but the way they were, and they became more of them, and they became individuals that be. You are be. Part of being is the be. So I want to be me. So that's what it's about. And I see some of the individuals doing that, where they look at this system and they look at this miseducation of the so-called school systems, where they teach you less and less of how to apply and do things. They teach you about historical factors, George Washington, Benjamin Banneker, et cetera, et cetera. They talk about the Declaration of Independence. But yet in 1774, let me see, what were our ancestors? Weren't we slaves?
They was considered slaves, but actually prisoners of war. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Prisoners of war and property. And they used to call it chattel, Chattle. And when they had the schools, they would call them chattel crossings. But now they don't, they just say these are school crossings, you know, and et cetera. All right. Now, all these things are fine and dandy. But once you keep going back and forth into that realm, and they keep showing different things, how wonderful this and that is, and how this and that, and they keep showing these movies over and over again. And they keep showing the same movies per generation. So every 10 years or so, or whatever, Hollywood brings out the same movie again because it's programming. We need to step out of the programming and go into where we are. And then we don't have to ask for them to say, I appreciate you seeing me. I don't care if you don't see me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it kind of because it's like because I write. You know what I'm saying, and write scripts and be in the film world. That's what you know what I mean. Always wanted to do, but it's like, you know, it's like they don't want our stories, and for those who are able to get a story out or two, it's like we got to include them on everything in order to validate our stuff anymore. When it's like back in the day, before I was born, you probably can speak on this a little bit more, but like I remember hearing and reading about and studying that the film world was going down at one time, and then next thing you know, they started going to brothers and sisters out in California, and they started making their own movies and end up becoming what they end up calling black exploitation, and that end up saving Hollywood. You know what I'm saying?
Not only saving Hollywood, did you know that the companies they call General Motors, Cadillac was about ready to close its doors, and it said, hey, let's give the Cadillac to the colors, to the Negroes, and let's ask them how they want to make the Cadillac. And they created the customer service toward that, and it was based upon a 3-year program. And when they did that, they made more money in them 3 years than they did in the history of Cadillac. So Cadillac, be known to the black folks, became the black people's car, because Cadillacs were given that and they chose that. So they figured the other markets would be where we would put black people in, because black people become marketable. And there's other brothers and sisters, both young and old, can express other avenues and places and product that came to be where they became known to the so-called black community, and they start promoting marketable products, hair products, with the Jerry curl and all that stuff like that, okay? And foods and other products and malt liquor, with Billy D. Williams and etc. And then the athletes started endorsing Nike, the gym shoes, and then you had Michael Jordan, where people kill and stand out all night at a store to buy a pair of Nike Jordans, and LeBron James shoes. I think I got both pairs of shoes like that. But the thing of the matter is that they should not dictate to you how you be.
Right.
I admire the young ones who don't wear Gucci and all that other stuff, and they got their own. They get a sweatsuit and they print their name. My name's Dabar. What you wearing? I'm wearing Dabar jeans. I'm wearing Dabar sweatsuit.
Right.
Be you. You don't need all these designers. These designers don't give 1 cent of nothing about you.
Exactly.
Yet, why is it that you need them to care about you? You should care about yourself even more.
Right.
But now, we got to a point where we got this new generation coming of children who are both smart, aware, but they don't know. And that is dangerous, because they don't know. And the thing is, in my generation, just because we did not know didn't mean that we did not do. An example. Who is your father? I don't know, but that didn't stop me becoming a basketball player. It didn't stop me from being a football player. It didn't stop you from doing this and that. That's just one small example. Everything that they did this and that against us, and still doing things against us. We don't need their permission to live. We need our own permission to not just live, but to be. And when we take that, and I love this one sister, Leonard, I believe her name is.
Who?
She made I forget her first name,
Oh.
Leonard. She made "Know My Name," and it's a gospel kind of song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't
And
know it. Yeah.
yeah, it's a gospel song, but
Mm.
"Know My Name," and I like that because that's a good thing. You need to know your name, and
Mm.
if your mother called you your Silverado, then damn it, that's what you're gonna be, Silverado, until you decide to do something else,
Yeah.
and bring it out to your own being. And when you become who you are, you're gonna be wonderful. There are a lot of things that are going on in this world right now, in this country, in these different states, and they talk about different things that deal with the Illuminati and the flag and making allegiance to the flag, the 13 stripes, the 50 stars and the 52 and etc. This and that and all this other stuff. You're playing allegiance to a certain amount of certain people,
Mm.
and in that people, this is where you are. But still, know who you are and know how you can become. And if you want to become that, then become it despite all conditions, including death.
Is that what
So,
the ninth gate is? Death? Is that what this is? You know, this interface, this world around us, as you know what I'm saying, so to speak. Is that what where we are in a physical sense? We are in the ninth gate, and our spirit is trying to get from out of it. Is that what all of this is about right here?
yes and no, but yes, and overall. Because the ninth gate in itself, a lot of people think that's complete. And in that, once you step out of the ninth gate or that dome and the area of existence, and you do this despite death. Because many of us feel that when we die, we're going to go to heaven. And that's including all of the three big boys. When you in Islam, they say if you become a righteous man, you have a daughter, then all etc. You will be treated right, and you get 70 wives, whatever they are, whatever. Then if you're a Christian, you get this and then you get the rewards of Jesus and the ABC 1, 2, 3, and get rewards. And then if you are what is the Judaism, then you get these rewards, and you be like coming back and like the new Messiah, like Enoch, and you get the rewards in the third heaven, except whatever. All these rewards are during death.
Mm-hmm.
But you sitting up there and you saying, I hear all the three major players saying the rewards after death. But I'm sitting up here right now, today, can I get a cup of coffee and some food? That's the reward I want. Can I get some shelter?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get this? So you can't even be homeless on the street. That's even against the law. So the only thing you got
Right.
left to do is to die. The only thing you got left to do is to die. I remember the Purple Rain guy, Prince. He said the only thing that there's some people, that's all they got in their hope is the wish to die. And I love the Purple Rain. But anyway, let's get back on that. Now let's go back to where we are. People are into this hope and hopelessness when you don't even have to worry about that, because when they deal with the thing, that's still a bitch. That's a Greek god. All these weather things, everything else based upon that Greek system.
Okay. So what you mean? What exactly is the Greek god? Because I didn't hear a word that, you know what I'm saying, denoted a god. So what were you talking about right there?
I'll tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
All the so-called sororities and
Okay.
fraternities,
Yeah, it's Greek letters. Yeah.
those letters came from the ancient. The delta is really the Dabar.
Okay.
Epsilon is not really that. It is Yawad. Okay. The A or the alpha is the Allah or Allah. There's more power to it than what they're giving to you in the Greek and in the English, Latin. And here's the thing about it is that when we're dealing with the Greek system and the bitchology, and you go back to the 19th, they made a movie about it.
Yeah.
And they introduced it to you. They showed you the first page. There were 9 pages in a book. And the first one was about the individual that came forth, and he was a knight on a horse going toward a castle. And in that castle was three towers, or they call the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, where you get into what you call the tarot, which is not really true, but the tarot, and the letter T was not even mentioned. It was more Aratar. But the thing was is that in this ninth gate, they dealt with that, but they talking about there was also a woman riding a motorcycle. Now stop the train right there for a moment. They just showed you in the first page when the guy wrote the book and put the book there, and he did it in this elaborate study.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote the book, closed the book up. He wrote 3 editions, I believe, and he closed it up. He got on the stool and hung himself and
Mm-hmm.
killed himself as a sacrifice that the book would be immortal and the craft of it would be in the spirit of those who read it, and they will get spellbound by it. But he also cast a gate opening, and that gate opened from there. So this ninth gate has numerical values, such as the time. Many, 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 many people believe that the day begins in the middle of the night. They call it midnight, the 0 hour. But no sun has risen at that hour.
Right.
But that's why it's called midnight, because that's short for middle of the night.
Right.
The sun rises, that begins the day in the natural order. This order of time. They had a movie called, this is out now, it's on Netflix even. It's called Lucy, about this white woman, and she did this and that, and she uses a certain percentage of her mind, 10%, 20%, 30%.
Started with the blue crystals, but go ahead.
That's what it is. And that's once again, everything is about that blue light, the blue crystal, the blue stone, the connection, and it's all about the invisible to the human eye. And like I said, John Coltrane, the Coltrane, Alice Coltrane, the Thelonious Monk, they all dealt with the level of the circle of 5 music, and the circle of 5 music and the vibrations and everything were more than that. Just like when I tell people, stop calling everything chakras, because you more than just chakras. You're not dealing, but there's 2 systems. There's the Kali Ma, and there's the Kali or Kalaya. And in that is one that is for people or mankind, and the light, the blue light, and then there's one that works against it, the law of opposites. So if you go with Kali Ma, she's the one that got the bleeding head and stepping on a certain individual, God and people and mankind, and the other one is trying to help. You got to choose life no matter what system you go to, whether you go Hindu, Indian, Native American, Christian, Baptist, Jewish, Islam, but whatever. You have to choose life and not death. And when you choose life to heal. But whether you do that or not, the blue light, the blue sun, all these things that are in the invisible realm that you can't see with the human eye, because even with the hearing and sound, the ancient frequency vibrations, the vibrations are something that can't be seen, that can't be heard from the human ear. You can do more than that. You begin to feel the essence of it within you. And one example is what they call love. When you love someone, you don't really have to see them to know them, because you feel them and you know and embrace that love. But once again, back to the blue light, and the blue light, the sky, and conditions, and the light that can't be seen by the human eye. Many people talk about the new moon and say the new moon, they can see it. That's not true. The human eye can't see the new moon.
Right.
You damn good. You a DC comic book, a Marvel comic book character. You see what other people, masters of people, can't see. The new moon.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see the crescent and etc. To deal with certain Egyptian order, American order, America, and etc. And once, not get back, let's go back to the blue light and the ancient. Now, when we're dealing with this level and the blue light and the blue sun, the blue vibration, the ultraviolet, and the way things are, and you go back to the bitch in the ninth gate, she riding a motorcycle with this knight going through these 3 castles, okay, the me, myself, and I castle. and then you're going into the realm. So the bitch has always been there. Some say that that woman represent the blue. You know, I mean, she represent the blue, and even like Lucy, she had to have the blue in her
Mm-hmm.
to make things happen, and it either kill you or make you. And this time it made her, but she wind up being a black essence, given to Morgan Freeman. The computer became black essence, like Spider-Man. He became black essence on one of his movies that he had.
You talk, yeah, I see what you're saying, but
So
that. Mm-hmm.
the black matter is what they call it. The black dark matter. The dark matter.
Well, I would say that would be black goo, because black matter or dark matter is different from the black goo, because just off the fact that unless you're trying to say that the black goo is cool, because I don't know how that well, if we use the example from Stigmata, like they try to portray what was that lady was doing while she was writing, like she was possessed, like by a demon, right?
Yes.
So that's the opposite of what it actually is from what we know by experiencing life with that understanding of the ancient. Okay, so are you saying that the way that as you said, the black matter like depicted in these movies, it don't seem like it have a good effect on the character that is interfacing with it. You know what I'm saying? So are you saying that that's cool, or are you saying there's even a difference in that? Because if it's gonna be a balance, like for instance, Kali, when we was talking before, Khalifa for real, Khalifa or Kali, and then Kali Ma, you know what I'm saying? Where are you saying that it's a difference between the black goo and the dark matter too?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. You did a great job in explaining that, because that is something that needs to be understood, because a lot of people don't understand that there's a light, and then the light is there's a greater light and there's a lesser light. There's a law of opposites. You got a right hand and a left hand, but you always have a center.
Mm-hmm.
You always have a choice, whether it be good, bad, or not.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that information in which you went beyond knowledge. And the thing of going beyond knowledge is that there's that you're on the ledge.
Mm-hmm.
Knowledge. So when you go on that ledge and you're going out, the only thing that you got to hold on to so that you don't fall off that ledge is you.
Mm.
You pull back to you because you are grounded into you and the elements. A lot of people feel that there's only 4 elements: earth, water, fire, and air. But there's light, all right? There's spirit, and there's the divine. And collectively, there is what they call the source.
Mm-hmm.
So there, you bring all that to you. The strongest finger on your hand is not your middle finger, which they say this is that or whatever, but the baby finger, the little pinky finger, because without that, there would be no grip and balance. Without this one little bitty finger, 50 to 60% of your grip and weight and balance would be thrown off. I'm sure that young man named Yaki Awakened, he could probably talk a little bit about that, because that's what he does. So the thing is, old heads, old schools like me, I step back and smile with young individuals like you and Carson and Yaki and other brothers who are doing things. What's that other brother? There's a few brothers and their sister. I like Mama T. And the thing is that in these levels, and that one sister, I forget her name, Priestess Artun. One thing I like about her, because she be talking about, we don't want to do no fuckery,
Yeah. Right.
And she tell her, I'm bipolar, but she from Jamaica, but you don't want to mess with this one, because I bring all my ancestors out to get your ass. I like that sister.
Yeah.
But back to business. When you dealing with that source and you really pulling out within you more and more of who and what you are, A lot of people think they all by themselves because they've been trained to think they are the power because they can manifest. But no, you need support. You need something besides yourself because you're not just made to be out here by yourself, but you have to know who you are. And when you have a child, whether it be a male or female or whatever, that's still a child. And that comes from within you. Now it's out. So that's part of you. So the thing is, you have to show them something outside of what is and share you with yourself, which is your child and the spirit. We are in a war that's dealing with light and so-called darkness. But like they say, you have to understand how darkness works. So you travel in the valley of the shadow of death, but you choose life. You cannot choose life if you don't choose the understanding of the divine female mother spirit, okay? The mother and father, father and mother. The thing about it is that that spirit is so strong. Honor thy mother and thy father, and thy days shall be longer. And they will be healing. The thing about the ancient is that it allows you to take whatever concept they call it and whatever label, it begins to give you healing. And now you don't have to rely on the man to say, can I breathe, sir? Can I say something? I know you're going to ban me on YouTube. I know you're going to do this. I know I can't walk down the street unless this cop shoot me or whatever. But I'm going to walk down the damn street anyway. I'm going to say whatever I need to say. But I'm not going to say that so-and-so is a bitch and so-and-so is a motherfucker. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say, I give you the privilege and understanding of being yourself. And if you wish to share that with me in healing and in a way of light, I accept that. But if you come at me wrong, I reject it to a point because I'm not trying to be involved in negative conditions.
Right.
I'm trying to be healing and help. And if you can't do that, then I have to move away from you.
Right.
And if you can't allow me to do that, then we dance.
Exactly. So that's want to take a another look at a clip, because I got some clips from Ninth Gate. You know what I'm saying, and check them out and then break them down. All right.
Yeah, because the Ninth Gate started with the bitch on a motorcycle, which they said was the devil. And she tell you at the end of the movie, she's not the devil, but she said she's a very important part of the Ninth Gate.
Just My 2 Cent podcast, Chopping It Up with My Elders, was brought to you and sponsored by Sa Ama Akaya's Helping Hands. Sa Ama Akaya's Helping Hands Spiritual Life Wellness Coaching Services. Sa Ama Akaya's Helping Hands offers spiritual life wellness coaching services utilizing ancient practices in modern times to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Sa Ama Akaya's Helping Hands offers light and support from an ancient, holistic perspective through study and research that can assist individuals in understanding the proper utilization of food, health, and wellness practices to assist one in obtaining a better quality of life. Let food be your medicine and let medicine be your food so you may love yourself to life. SaAmaAkaya.com